Hi everybody, welcome back to Marie's Kitchen. I'm so glad you're here. Today we have a friend in town from Boston, Massachusetts, Chris LaMarca. So glad you're here. Today he's going to show us how to make Sicilian meatballs because your family's from Sicily?
That's right, half my family's from Sicily. Yep, my grandmother and my aunt taught me this recipe and I've passed it down to my son and I'm really glad to be sharing this with you today.
We are so lucky. I can't wait to learn. First, we're going to start with the sauce.
Yes.
Right.
We're going to make a very simple marinara sauce. It's just tomato and onion base with a little bit of seasoning and salt.
Awesome.
We do this now. You're using the shape and the contour of the onion itself to come up with like the perfect dice. And then you don't have to do the whole thing. Now this is more than enough to be the basis of, you know, a good little marinara.
Okay, great. So onions, and then we've got our tomatoes. This is San Marzano tomatoes peeled, and then we just put them in the food processor because we just needed to puree them a little bit so we have a nice smooth sauce.
Yeah, I mean, now we want to have a nice olive oil to saute these in, and
let's hop over to the stove then.
A couple minutes just to get them translucent. Just let that heat up for a moment.
Okay.
Really don't have to do too much, but I mean, the whole point of this is just to make sure that the real flavor of the onion is going to be unlocked.
Now you said translucent, so am I going to?
Nope, we're getting there.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, we're getting there.
So
we're pretty close, in fact.
Okay.
I'd say, you know, maybe another minute or so, and we'll be ready to add the tomato and then a couple of carrots.
Sounds good. Now the carrots, how do you just? Are you going to chop those?
Yeah, actually not going to chop them because, again, we're going to fish these out later on. Okay. So you kind of want to leave them big and chunky.
So you just leave it for, is this for sweetness?
It is for sweetness. And one thing we can do here is we could actually peel it and get this, so there's just more exposed surface area.
Yes. And I should mention, Chris is a friend of my husband John's friend, right?
That's right.
And y'all actually met in Italy. Doing a semester abroad, so.
Yep, I used to cook for all the guys. You know, I'd say, hey, you guys clean up, I don't mind cooking. And I would just invent dishes with whatever I saw.
Whatever you had around, right?
Yeah, whatever.
Sure the student hostels didn't have it.
We had our own apartment and we were fending for ourselves in terms of food, but believe me, it's hard to get a bad meal in Italy.
Right. So he met John's friend, well, a summer abroad in Italy, and then they've kept in touch. And so now his son is down here in Texas looking for colleges. So yeah, so we got a special treat because you're not in Texas often, right?
That's right.
It's your first time to Austin too, right?
It is.
Yes.
And, you know, like this is a bucket list item for me. I've been following Marie's cooking online for a long time. Her food art and all her like really awesome creative stuff. So like now I'm getting one of my top 100 bucket list items done by spending this afternoon. Yeah, and those are perfect because you don't want them to brown, and you can really, if folks can see, you know, they're just really
golden a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit golden. So it's really the right time to add the pomodoro.
Great. And I mean, that's like a key of this sauce is kind of getting the onions to the right place.
100%.
Look at that. These are the little tricks you can't learn often in a cookbook.
Well, I think people don't understand that like the onion is actually very sweet. It holds a lot of sugar.
Right.
And when you get it to this phase before it breaks down, it's at the phase where it's going to release the sugar into the sauce and give it just a really great flavor.
These are such little just nuggets of wisdom. Okay, so we put all this in here. This was about 8 cups.
Beautiful.
It was, so I have turned this up to about medium high.
Sure, yep.
We're adding our carrots, and then you said we'll bring it to a boil and then turn it down to a simmer.
Yeah, and we do need to, you know, always salt and pepper everything a little bit. Right. So, I mean, for this, I'm going to put like, you know, 3 very good pinches of salt. Okay. Healthy pinch and a half of pepper. And yeah.
Looks great.
Let it go.
Looks great. So, okay, we'll move this. So now we're moving on to meatballs.
We are, although there's one final step. I do want to put a little bit of basil
Do you grow basil in the summer?
100%.
Okay.
I mean, that's sacrilege to be half Italian and not grow basil, right?
That's right, yeah. Yeah, we try to here. We try to do a lot, but you know, it gets so hot here in Texas that
Yeah, it's
it's
tough.
just hard to keep up. I mean, every year I say, this year is gonna be the year I'm gonna keep my garden up, so y'all stay tuned. We have it actually, we call it Mimi's garden.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
It was,
After your mom?
I don't know why I can't stand on that side. It's weird.
Yeah?
I feel like
Okay.
I'm like driving
Well,
on
that's
the
fine.
wrong side of the
well,
road.
good,
I gotta
because this
be
is my
over
good side, so this is great. All right.
So we're done with that. We're gonna move on to meatballs.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes. Step number one is we have to, peel and get this garlic chopped up real fine, and we've got to saute that in some olive oil. So, I mean, it's just real basic. What I'd love to do is take advantage of some technology, the garlic press, but want to first get the
We're recording.
first get the skins off.
Good, LaMarca.
Thanks, man.
Just rolling with it.
Appreciate it.
Look,
Yeah, he's doing great. Why don't y'all leave a comment? Let me know what you think, how you think Chris is doing up here. Let us know.
Hey, I'm making my
You want him
debut
back?
here,
You
so
want him back? I know
give me
this
a
is-
little grace here,
I mean, This is his debut. We didn't even know we were doing this like 5 hours ago, and now here we
Yeah,
are.
That's right. That's it.
Making Sicilian meatballs.
And
So
John didn't get his request because he said, "Hey, let's get the carbonara."
that's right. He wanted carbonara.
But meatballs got outvoted, and meatballs it is.
Okay.
All right, so we want to put these like right in from the press.
Okay.
And the way I would do this, I mean, very simply, you crush the garlic and just kind of clean off the garlic press. It's
Right.
no big deal, but you just keep rolling with it until you get all the cloves. I think the garlic is done at this point.
Okay, great. So now we've got about 3 pounds of ground beef, and you said you don't do the pork beef.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people
Combo.
prefer the mix,
Yeah.
which has the veal, the pork, and the beef. Again, my dad, I don't know, my aunts, they say,
This is how they
"La Mama,
do it."
just
Yeah.
go with the beef. You're
Okay.
good there."
Okay, so we have about 3 pounds of ground beef. What's next?
We want to add the garlic
Okay.
right in. So go ahead, Marie. You can
Okay.
put it all in there, oil and everything,
Oh, that's nice.
right? Yep, just put it all right in there. So this is like step one. And now we're just going to start adding the stuff that sort of make up the meatball. You've got to add a cup and a half of breadcrumbs.
Okay.
These are Italian seasoned breadcrumbs.
Okay, great. So,
yeah,
Italian
so
season. So
put
you got
these in first.
You know, Italian season does have quite a bit of salt in it. So
It
I guess
does.
you kind of adjust for that. Okay.
100%,
Yeah.
and you do have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Do we still have that tiny spatula around?
Yes, I have several. Oh, the
Perfect.
little red one. Yeah, let me get this.
So yeah, and 2 eggs, very easy. Just crack them, throw them right in, right? Just
What is it about tiny spatulas?
they're the best.
I love them.
They're the best, especially when
Like a little spoon, but gets
you're
at
trying
more.
to get your
Yeah.
tomato paste. Now, the tomato paste, it's concentrated tomato. It does offer some level of sweetness that you wouldn't necessarily get.
You said 6-ounce can?
Yeah, 6
Okay.
ounce can.
To add cheese, we have grated Parmesan and grated Pecorino Romano. So
Yes,
What's the
and
plan?
I just like to start with like a punch of each, a generous punch, right? So
like a
there's-
handful.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a handful, right? Because if I was going to throw a punch like this,
Okay.
it holds that much. So a punch of each just to kind of get started, and this is the part that you're all going to love because you're going to see me just start to really
make a big mess.
make a mess. You can see like we've got a nice mix now.
Yeah, looks great.
So remember I told you, Marie, like these are Sicilian meatballs, and my father's side of the family hails from Sicily.
Right.
They come from a small village south of Catanzetta, which for those of you that don't know your geography is central Sicily.
Okay.
And their village was Riesi, which is just south of Catanzetta. And there's a lot of Riesanis, as they like to call themselves, that have settled in greater Boston.
Okay.
But the reason I tell the story is because people are like, well, what makes the meatball Sicilian?
Right.
Well,
right.
now the secret is to be revealed.
Golden raisins.
So in Sicily, right, the peasant food, you're cooking with what your resources are.
Right.
And, there's an abundance of grapes in the hills. And one thing they like to do is they like to add raisins to their meatballs. And this is a really interesting thing because it's a way to bring sweetness into the meat, and it's very different.
I've never seen anything like it, so I'm really excited to try it.
Not everybody's cup of tea, but I tell you, you might fall in love with this.
I can't wait.
My kids always say, we don't want the meatballs with the raisins. They pick them out.
Right.
And you know what? I was like that till I was about 15 or 16.
Okay, and then
And then I got religion, and I said, you know what? This is delicious. And I had a little bit of cajoling from my aunt. She said, oh, Mama, please eat the raisins.
Right.
But I'll tell you what's so cool about it is that, you know, when these cook in the sauce, the raisins will actually reconstitute and be plump and delicious within the meatball, and it's sublime. The final thing before we roll these out and add the basil is I did put a punch of just regular sugar in as well to balance things out. So that is in here. And now we'll just chop some basil and then we'll be ready to roll. All right, great. Like you can never have too much basil, right, Marie?
Right. So now fresh basil going in with the meatballs.
Yeah,
Great.
absolutely. So yeah, we'll just work it in, and now we're ready to actually heat up the pan.
Okay.
Plenty of olive oil. Don't be shy.
Here we are over at the stove. You're rolling the meatballs.
Yes.
We've got some olive oil heating up here.
Yes.
And tell us about what size you're doing there.
Well, you know, I mean, the jury's out, right? Again,
yeah.
I don't really think small meatballs is a thing.
Okay.
Right? So you got to have at least a good.
Okay.
You know, I guess I went to the Alamo yesterday in San Antonio, and this would be about the size of a 4-pound, you know, shot peen from a cannon. So that's a new reference.
Let's use that as a reference.
Because I don't know how else to describe it, but like, you know, you just don't want a tiny one.
Yeah, it's like a small baseball or a big golf ball.
Actually, I would say, big golf ball, real big.
Maybe, is it almost like a pickleball?
But the key here is, you know, really, I like to fill the whole pan. And I don't know, I think you're at a good heat. If it's at medium, right?
Yeah.
But fill the pan and then start to do the turning.
So you just fill it right up. Oh, look at that.
See that beautiful crust?
Gosh, yes.
Beautiful crust.
Wow.
You know, just start kind of working these through.
Now you don't care too much if they don't really end up round, right? They kind of flatten on the sides.
Yeah, it's a little bit. You know, you don't want to lose that too much. And maybe we turn the heat down slightly because we don't want to, you know, get too dark of a crust on this. And it might be a little shy on the olive oil up on this corner.
Okay.
But yeah.
Get some over there. So what we're doing now is, because there are so many meatballs, we're gonna move our sauce over here and then just start piling in the meatballs into a nice big Dutch oven, or he uses like a stock pot.
Right, Marie, you know the old saying, right? I mean,
what's that?
You know, with showing your love for your friends and your family and everything else. I mean, what better way to do it than through food, right?
I know. That's definitely how I feel. Okay.
So I'd be remiss not to mention my mother, who's a very good cook in her own right.
Oh, yes.
But my mother, believe it or not, is an incredible baker. That's her thing.
Okay.
She makes just so many wonderful things. And she's like, I just follow the recipe. I'm like, Mom, please.
Yeah, no.
These blueberry
you're
muffins,
good at it.
this Jewish apple cake, like it's off the hook. It's just incredibly good. But, you know, she does enjoy my cooking too.
I bet. Uh-oh, there's the dog. We go let her out. By the way, Chris does love Coco and everybody loves Coco.
Who doesn't love dogs?
I know. She's a sweetheart.
If you're not a dog person.
You're gonna stop right there.
All right.
No, I'm just playing. Okay, where do you want this?
We'll just
back
put it in
over
the back,
here?
and you know what? We'll just start.
Maybe we'll move it here.
Yeah,
Zach, would you go let the dog out? Thank you.
I just want everyone to see, like, look at this beautiful crust that comes on the meatball. Like, that's perfect. And now you just let it finish in the sauce.
Okay.
So, you know, we kind of want to inspect these and make sure that you get that beautiful crust on it. And then we just drop it in. Definitely want to get these to the point where they're covered.
Okay.
Right, in the sauce, right? And then we're going to bring these up to temperature. So it's almost like, it's almost to the boil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before we turn it down to simmer. And then we're going to simmer for at least an hour, maybe longer. It's all good.
What a treat.
Yes.
And where's here, Alex, want to come try some? You've had them before, right? We got to get John in here.
You know, they say, for all you single ladies out there, the way to the man's heart is through the stomach. So if you cook him a set of delicious meatballs, maybe you'll have a date.
It sure worked in
happy.
my relationship. I do all the cooking. He does all the
Well, let
eating.
us know. I want to know what you think. Any good?
Wow.
Have you had anything like that before?
No.
Yeah.
The little tiny bit of sweet.
Did you get one of the raisins?
I don't know. Would I've known? Because it was really, everything was
you
really
may.
soft.
You may, but you never get
It's
a meatball
so
like
soft.
that. Yeah.
No, never had one like that. It's so good.
Well, I'm
Best
glad.
meatball I've ever had.
Yeah, it's a thrill to enjoy and share food with friends,
Wow.
and I'm so glad that the LaMarca family recipe, and I should say Turco as well, because my grandmother's maiden name was Turco, but the LaMarca family recipe is enduring
Oh my gosh.
and being shared now in Texas, of all places.
Yeah, I can't. John, you got to come try some.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's so good. Jack, you want to try some?
Jack, you want to try one of these meatballs?
I got a raisin. You know, I didn't tell you this. I hate raisins. It's wonderful. You can't even taste it.
A lot of people do. I know. It's a very underrated, underused ingredient.
I am
and,
shocked. And
wanna
it is
try it.
so good. It is so good. Yes, here.
Yeah,
we
please.
can. Here's a fork.
Who is this young individual?
John, here.
This is my bloodline right here.
The aspiring.
Alexander.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that.
he'll.
Aspiring chef.
musician.
And you know how to make these, right?
He does know how to make them.
And we
You saw what he just did. He ate the
He
raisin.
ate the raisin.
Oh, it's got raisins in it.
No, but you would. It's incredible.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it is. Wow, it's incredible. It's really, really
Isn't that
good.
so good.
I've had so many bad meatballs. It's like I'm reliving my life right now and my decisions.
I mean,
incredible.
and the sauce
It's
is so
so
good.
good.
It's not like
So good.
too acidic. Oh,
So good. So delicious.
so mellow.
Guess who else wants a taste? Cocoa Pop. Cocoa Pop's right here looking for a taste.
Yeah. Yes.
Good. I'm so
Thank
glad you
so
enjoyed.
much.
Well, I checked one more thing off my bucket list. Being
I'm-
a co-presenter on
I'm
Cooking
honored.
with Marie.
Thank you. Well, I had
I'm
my
honored
first
to be
guest,
here.
and
No.
we're going to do it again. So for this recipe, I'm going to get it, I think, try to get it from Alex, and
Yes.
I'll get it up on my website with all credit to the LaMarca and
Turco.
Turco family. So thank you so much for sharing. You can find the recipe on my website, mariesaba.com. Be sure to like this video. It means so much to us. And then if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe. I've got lots more videos coming up with easy recipes just like this, and I don't want you to miss any of them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, we'll see y'all next time.
Arrivederci.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Ci vediamo.
Ciao.
Ci vediamo means see you later.
Ci vediamo. Ciao.
Ciao.
It's
Yeah.
really, really
Get
good.
some, Jack.
And I'm not kidding. I've had a lot of bad meatballs.
Go ahead, get in on
I want another
that. Come
one.
on, get in on that.
Get in there. Delicious.
And you know what? I don't think it needs the ricotta.
Why is it so good?
Well,
is it the meat?
you'll have to watch the show.
Have to watch.
It's so good.